All right, 10th grade. Hope you guys had a great Easter weekend or as great of an Easter weekend as you could have with everything that is currently happening in our world. So let's take a quick look at what y'all got going on for today, and then we will just go in there. So let's go over here. Oops, log me out. There we go. All right, so as you can see, if you log on to Grade Link, I have marked your schedule for week 3, just so you guys can find it a little bit easier. But as you can see from right here, you only have one real assignment for the entire week, and that is to read chapters 9 through 11 up to Kill a Mockingbird and then complete your chapter organizer for those particular chapters. Now, later on Thursday, you will have a lecture video that will probably be a little bit longer, somewhere in the range of probably 20 to 30 minutes, just since we're not actually in like a real class teaching mode. I just think that'll be the best way to do that. So I will have a presentation with some slides that I'll put myself up in the corner like this, and we'll just go through some stuff. And you guys need to take notes on that for probably whatever way we have a test on any of this stuff, however that may happen. And then also on that day, you'll have a little quiz that will be on chapters 1 through 11. So it'll be the entire novel up until that point. It won't just be chapters 9 through 11. So if you click on the chapter organizer, that'll take you to here, which you will see looks a little bit different because you've got 2 more things that you need to find, and then you also have 2 responses instead of just, the 4 and the 1. So again, biggest thing, some of you are still having trouble with this, which is reasonable because it's a little bit difficult what I'm asking you to do here, but I want you to try a little bit harder. And I know that you guys will get through this, and you guys will be able to do this. So remember, with these particular quotes, you're finding something that is significant about that thing. You're not just finding somewhere in the novel where it says these particular words. Because I go ahead and tell you, the word racism, you won't find the word racism in chapters 1 through 9 or chapters 1 through 11 because it doesn't exist. Harper Lee never wrote the word racism in those chapters because it's not there. And so because of that reason, you know what racism is. So you need to find something that somebody says or that somebody does or that references the idea of racism in some very big, very important, very significant way. Now, this one is a little bit different because it is a very specific quote. There is something that Atticus says within these chapters about killing a mockingbird. And it is probably the most important quote from the whole thing because it's what the entire book is ultimately about. Because as you'll notice, to kill a mockingbird, the act of killing a mockingbird has nothing to do with the entire plot of the novel. That's just what it's called. But it's very important, and you will see why it's important as the book continues to develop its plot and themes and characters. So find that very specific quote. That one's a little bit different. These particular ones are pretty much up in the air on what you find about these particular characters, such as Mrs. Bose and the Mad Dog. But you should be able to find stuff. How is honor defended? What does somebody do that defends honor? And then Scout talks a lot about her father in chapter 10. You have a little bit more backstory on Atticus, but what is something that Scout says that like really shows us what she thinks about her father? And that's what you need to look at there. And then you've got 2 responses to this particular chapter. Number 1 in particular, you guys can read through that, but basically these first 11 chapters, there's a point in these chapters where the exposition typically, or it ends, and then the novel really starts to take off because there's a major event that you're going to read about, something that Atticus is taking on that's really going to change the direction of the novel. Because at this point, we've been very much focused on the kids. This has been Scout's world. It's been Jim's place within Scout's world. It's been her perspective of her father. They're just living life. They're playing their Boo Radley game. They're like coming up with their own perspective about Boo. They're playing out in the yard. They're doing all these things. They're making friends with Dill. They're acting out plays. They're doing all this stuff. It's about their childhood, but something is changing. And so, they're maybe realizing, as you can see here, this right here, which you will come to find out as you read through these particular chapters. So just answer this particular question in about 6 to 8 sentences. I'm expecting some really thorough responses on this since this is the only assignment you have for the week. So do that to the best of your ability. And then on number 2, I just want you in your own words to explain why it is a sin to kill a mockingbird. So don't just paraphrase the quote that you get from up here, but actually explain what that means in your own words. And you guys can pretty much do that, I hope, very easily. So going back over here to grade link, as you can see, That's the only thing you have to do. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. It's a pretty easy week, trying to keep things short because it's a 4-day week again, since you guys are out of school yesterday as well. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, you know how to get into contact with me. Looking forward to what you guys come up with. Oh, and the last thing. So because this is the big important thing, because this is a longer one and I'm asking you to do a little bit more, the chapter organizer is not due until Wednesday night. So you actually have today and tomorrow to complete it. So trying to just let you guys get caught up in your other classes, because I know some of you are trying to do that, and so just trying to give you guys a little bit less to worry about when it comes to Mr. Marsh. So just make sure that you do that. It's actually due. It says that on GradeLink that it's due Wednesday, April 8th at midnight. So just make sure that you get it turned in by then, and make sure that you follow that same process of clicking on the document, clicking file, making a copy, and naming it appropriately, and sharing it with me. And that should be all you have to do. So looking forward to see what you guys come up with on that, and happy reading.